Welcome everyone to the second round of office hours from the EOPF Toolkit Community Notebook Competition. We are really happy to have you here today. I am Gisela and here today with my colleague James. We will be trying to answer all your questions and whatever you would be interested into this, like diving into this project now. But also as a quick recap, we are the EOPF Toolkit project, which we're mainly focusing into this community engagement and the adoption of the SAR format. And we are trying to provide you with all these resources that in a general overview could be seen in three main parts: the EOPF 101 online book, which will be your starting point and a starting resource if you are new to SAR and cloud native data. Also, the development of libraries and plugins, plus the adoption of the first two instances into the application of case studies, and also this notebook competition. Sorry. During our project, we are trying to address two main points, which are why are cloud native formats relevant, specifically SAR, so we can answer and explore how to work with it with large volumes of EO data, also trying to explore how this speeds up our workflows by accessing, for example, only the data we're interested into. And also this could be seen as a scaling up or down data we are processing. And of course, exploring why SAR as the EOPF SAR structure was chosen by ESA to be the SAR specification, as it's expected to allow efficient access to individual bands or specific spatial regions that we are usually interested when we are developing an EO workflow. And here, I would also like to highlight that the consortium that is in charge of developing all these conversion of the Sentinel formats are the EOPF Sentinel Zarr Sample Service. And well, as all this data has been reprocessed and made available to the community, now we are trying to answer also this main question: how can we adopt this initiative and encourage the EO community? And this is why we are developing a series of resources. For example, EOPF 101, which, as I mentioned before, it's the starting point of everything you need to know about SAR, about this format, and also to find some already developed workflows and get some inspiration for your own development. As for example, we are having the flood mapping time series analysis in Valencia, which was made with SAR data from Sentinel-1 mission. So check it out. I think it's a really nice example to see what you can do with this new format. And of course, introducing for our new guests, the Community Notebook Competition. What are we trying to do? Well, to encourage Sentinel data users to create innovative and open Jupyter notebooks for testing out this format. Who are we inviting? Well, for us, Sentinel users are everyone. It doesn't matter if you're new to cloud native or if you're an expert. I think it's a really great way to explore this format and also being supported by experts. And why? Well, because we would really like to showcase the power of the cloud native data and workflows that are already hosted in the EOPF STAC catalog. Why are we also encouraging you to participate? Well, because we think this is a really great way of expanding your skills, as you will be supporting during your whole development. Also, it would contribute to the EO community as it allows us to explore what we can do with the format, I don't know, like propose new workflows or adopt workflows that already exist and make them much more efficient. And of course, as we are the community, well, it will also allow us to help find issues as we can retrieve all this feedback and as the community bring it back to ESA and say, okay, we think this could be improved or addressing specific requirements that we would have. And of course, it would allow you to gain visibility in your development as the winners will be featured in EOPF 101. And there will be additional prizes as upskilling vouchers, courtesy of thriveGEO, and some Sentinel-2 Lego sets provided by ESA. In this moment, we're already between the learning and development phase and also the notebook submission. As 2 weeks ago, we already opened the submission workflow through GitHub. And yeah, during these next months, we will be providing you with support and answering your questions. Also, from the first and second, the first and the second week of February, a panel of experts will evaluate all the submissions. And by February 18th, you will be featured already in EOPF 101. The chapters are in action. Yeah. And also for you to remember, we have upcoming office hours on January 2026 and co-working sessions during still November, December, and also January. The differences here are that for office hours, as today, we will be answering the general questions that everyone's having. And during the co-working sessions, you will be able to bring your developments, and as a team, we will try to answer whatever you're having, giving you also support into whatever bug you will be encountering or any problem. So no worries, we're happy to support you. And also, I would like to highlight the availability of the discourse forum, because here you can follow up all the discussion around EOPF general project from the Zarr Sample Service, also the toolkit. So yeah, also you can find there either specific answers that you're having at a specific moment of your development, or also to follow up to get to know what's going on during all of these development among the community. And so as a quick heads up, we also provide the slides, no worries. In our repo, you can already find the template and all the available materials and necessary materials for your own development. You have, like templates, all the requirements there are listed. So if you have any doubt and you cannot catch up into something right now, don't worry, there's also a lot of information there. And for this development, we can say that it consists of 5 steps. First, you can access the Jupyter Hub. Remember that you need to access with your Copernicus Data Space ecosystem credentials. So if you're not having an account, you can also follow into the repo, and there you will find all the instructions into how to sign up. Then you clone the EOPF 101 notebook competition repo. You develop your notebook, you submit through GitHub, and afterwards, well, you're evaluated and maybe you'll be the winner. Also, here are all the resources that we have developed so far, and also notes, for example, to the EOPF Sentinel Zarr Sample Service, where you can explore the available data. Also, the STAC browser, which is the place where all this data is hosted. And well, now I will hand in to my colleague James from Sparkgeo, because he will be also answering your questions. And yeah, James.
Yeah, really excited to. Yeah, thanks, Gisela. Very happy to have everyone at these office hours. I'm James Banting. I'm Vice President of Research at Sparkgeo. We are very excited to work on the EOPF Toolkit. We are longtime users of EO data. I was joking with my boss, Will. We like to say we're the least contentious pipeline company in Western Canada, because we build data pipelines. So I'm very excited about Zarr and the move to cloud native formats, because as a pipeline builder, it makes it easier and cheaper for my clients to do massive computations, world computations. So if you've seen Chris Holmes' Phos4G keynote from 2017, he has a question about querying the Earth, being able to ask any questions. And I think these kind of competitions are getting the world to that stage where we can start querying the Earth. And these data formats like EOPF and Zarr really power that. So I'm excited to see what everyone comes up with, what kind of questions people have for the Earth. If you have any like broad general questions, like Gisela mentioned, I'm happy to answer them. For the more technical, detailed questions, I will have to write your question down and ask my team directly about that. But the higher level stuff and on cloud native stuff, I'm happy to explore those questions. Yeah, welcome everyone.
Thanks, James. And yeah, feel free to use the Slido if you have any question, or also feel free as well to unmute yourself and ask. We're here to help you. Or also, if you're having problems, your questions in the chat.
I've also shared the link to Slido in the chat. Feel free to just click there and ask your questions on that link. So as people are figuring out questions, someone unmuted just now?
Oh, that was me. I was going to, Sabrina, you probably have a topic. I was going to ask a couple of questions, see how people are using Sentinel. I'm just curious, but yeah, you go ahead.
Oh, no, please do that, James. That's a great idea.
Well, I was just going to, so using the emojis or kind of raising your hand, who has used Zarr before EOPF? All right, 3 people. So we have a bunch of new people. Well, arms are going up and down. Oh man. Yeah, Zarr is pretty new. So I'm not that surprised, but I'm excited to see more general adoption. The Zarr format is changing. As Isa has written down here, it's a sample service. So it's a sample. So one of the things we need to consider is that we'll learn from community feedback. So as you're going through and playing with EOPF Zarr, if you have experiences from other Zarr deployments, maybe in biosciences or other geological sciences, keep those in mind, bring those up to us, because we can bring those to ESA and say, other disciplines have found this pattern really useful. So as you're going through these competitions, if you're new, think about what patterns you've seen elsewhere. That would be very helpful. Bring those up to us, and then keep going your path and make sure you deliver something awesome for the competition. But that kind of information is very valuable for us. So if you see something, as the British say, see it, say it, we'll sort it. EOPF is not using Zarr version 3. I believe you use the CDSC notebook environment for the competition. I think this is in the template and the documentation. Maybe Gisela, you can correct me if I'm wrong there.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Which question was it?
The second one there, how to submit the notebook in a specific environment.
Oh, yep. For example, let me see. For submitting your notebook, that we have in the EOPF repo to specific Docker images. Once you make your own development, there it's chosen. Like automatically, you choose which environment you're using. Like there's a specific workflow for each of them. But yeah, if it's not clear now, we can also, how do you say, explain much more better. And this actually helps us to know what we can explain better. But yeah, you have basically there two environments, R and Python. And once you select the one you're working with, it should automatically work.
Yeah, that's right. So so we have different kernels set up for the notebooks. We have Jupyter Notebook, and then I forget what the R one is. I can never remember. Oh, it's going to bug me. Tip of my tongue starts with Q. Anyway, we have the different kernels for these. So if you're publishing the notebooks, they'll be using these kernels, and that's the way we can persist and run through it for the evaluations. There was a couple that we missed here, I think. Hey.
Yeah, like the ones that were already answered, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
But okay, we have another one. Will EOPF be the new standard way via STAC catalog of querying Sentinel data moving forward?
Yes, but we have to think on like bureaucratic timelines. So think of years. I imagine like COG and the current way of deploying will still be the way that is deployed. But 2027, I imagine that EOPF will be the de facto way that ESA is deploying the Sentinel data sets. And I think this is when they probably start doing a little bit of the archive conversion, if not 2027 later on. But this will be this new standard moving forward. I'm biased. I was on the steering committee for STAC when we started it, but I think the way they're going to deploy is via STAC, if not STAC, some flavor of OGC.
Thank you. Yep, we can go with regarding the environment. I mean, that I would like to use another packages than your kernels, but it sounds like competition is restricted to your kernels.
That's a good question. We could probably ask Kieran about that one.
I would say we do have a standard environment, but if your workflow requires additional packages, you can install them and then just include that in the notebook so we can see that you installed additional packages and then you loaded them. So we know what additional libraries you used. And then if your notebook becomes one of the winning notebooks and is incorporated into EOPF 101, we will for sure then also update the standard environment to also include those additional packages that you used. So as far as I'm aware, you can install additional packages in, for example, if you use your own environment or if you use the EOPF Zarr Sample Service Jupyter Hub, you can also install packages there, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you can use the like Python magic functions or notebook magic functions and do like a pip install. If you're thinking of lower level packages, I'd have to ask our DevOps folks and see if we can accept like Docker containers where you're building everything. We just use that.
Yeah. And also just make a note in the beginning of your notebook. I think that would be also something nice in a cell. And even if at some point you need to mark it down as a comment, but keep a track of all the remaining packages. Because then once we run the notebooks, we make the revisions over them. Like we will be able to tag all the new environment, the new function, the new tools you're using, and then we will make everything work there. So no worries about it.
Yeah, and please raise also any specific issues regarding if there are some lower level packages you need in the notebook competition repository on GitHub so that we can also address that there.
Okay, can you give an example into how we can use Zarr?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is a setup question that's very good for us. We have the EOPF 101. I've just sent a link in here. So within here, we have a bunch of notebooks for describing Zarr, going through what cloud optimized formats are, going into what chunking is. That's very important if you're going to do big distributed processing. And then we have a couple use cases using Sentinel and Sentinel 2. So there's great examples in that repository if you want to have a poke around there.
Good. And another one. Are you guys planning to expand the number of data sets in the EOPF STAC catalog?
So this is a very good question because we've had this question as well. And from ESA, it is a rolling archive because it is a sample service. So keep that in mind. This is a sample service. It is a rolling archive of 1 year for the Earth. No, 1 year for Europe and 1 month for the Earth. So if you're developing notebooks and you are doing any time series, you need to make it relative to now. Don't make it absolute because you will lose out on time, on data there. That being said, if you do want a specific area, I believe we have the ability to request it through ESA, but you will want to do that quickly because of bureaucracy. We need to get these requests in soon. So if you do have a time series question you want to poke around at, please let us know the AOI and the time range, and we could probably get these converted and dumped over into ESA.
Yeah, I have already sent to the chat. We have, as I mentioned before, we're different consortiums, and we're working closely with the EOPF STAC, the EOPF Zarr Sample Service, sorry, and they are the ones that are in charge of this conversion. And you can do request data there via an issue opening. I have already sent the specific repo. There you can read all the instructions, but it's basically that you provide the S3 links from the items you're interested into retrieving, and like among like 1 week, 2 weeks, more or less, depending on the time on the time frame you need of the window frame. You will be able to get the data back. Then you can access it through the STAC catalog. And this also allows to populate the areas of interest. And then as we request data, then they can also make much more data sets available. Yeah. We have another one. Will there be any cloud computing service similar to Azure Container App Job available for this competition?
Yeah, I believe we have the ESA's environment, so you can load up a notebook in there, and it'll give you an instance, and then you can run a Dask cluster on that instance. You won't have Azure Container App Jobs or batch availability as you would in AWS. It would be what you can run on that instance. I mean, I guess you could call out to your stuff if you want to pay for it, but that's not really in the spirit of this competition, I guess.
Yeah, we're for now mainly focusing in the adoption of the direct data that is already available or could be available in the EOPF STAC catalog. And then we have another one. Should a thematic topic be addressed, for example, monitoring X in Y using Sentinel to fit in the EOPF Zarr in Action section, or is a more technical focus also allowed? What do you mean with more technical focus, maybe? Or what
I think,
James?
is this, I would interpret this, maybe you can type in that answer a little bit more directly, but I would interpret this as like application focused versus deep technical, so fixing a bug or something
like
in software.
Exploring chunking, right? Something like that. Exploring a chunking strategy. I would say both are fine.
Yeah, that's how I would interpret it. I think if you want to go down that road, like the application, or like this is a deep technical problem and it can be solved this way, or I want to explore chunking, as Sabrina said, I think it's fine. You just have to use the Zarr data and the EOPF.
Yeah, and also I would say chunking is a really interesting topic to explore, as there's not much like available examples. What do you think? I have also been going through some research, and I would be really happy to see examples of chunking. Okay.
Yeah. If anyone is doing time analysis, please add a section on time chunking. That
would be really, really, really cool as well. Yeah, so more questions we are happy to answer. Also, let me see in the chat. There's some questions there, or if you want to directly ask these questions, you can also do that. Feel free. Or does anyone has already an idea and would like to share what are that you guys interested into developing?
If I was not part of the consortium hosting this competition, based on what I've been reading in the industry and what I've been chatting about, I think I would really explore the embeddings world and searches for embeddings. I think that is a very interesting topic, and I think cloud native processes make that pretty easy to explore. So if I were not in this hosting this competition, I would do something like that. But that's just me.
I think I would like to do some agricultural focused workflow, also time series analysis. It's really interesting for me because that's one of my backgrounds is agricultural engineering. So, and the application of satellite imagery there, it's really useful to to monitor the state of the crops. And I think I would be really interested into trying out the Zarr format with it, because I had seen some really interesting workflows where it showcases that you can process data much more efficiently than not downloading the original data and then subsetting everything, like to create a really nice workflow. And I think that test is really, really, really cool to try out.
Yeah, it's pretty wild when you start playing with like giant climate data sets as well.
Oh yeah.
And like I'm from the geospace, and like I think satellite imagery is like pretty big data, and then you go talk to these climate folks, and they're like massive data sets, and how they access them is crazy.
Yeah.
And then they're like, yeah, we just do this on the cloud, and like Dale in the back has some script that does it all. You're like, well, I don't have a Dale, but I have Zarr.
Yeah, and also like this, how do you say, this input that you don't even need to download the data. That's also something really nice. Like when I started working with the STAC catalog, it was surprising for me that I still do not need to authenticate myself. It's like, okay, the data is just there, grab it, try it out. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's a great model. It's a great model for trying things out.
Yeah. So you guys, is someone would like to share what are they thinking into developing, or?
Yeah, I mean, this is your office hour times. We're hoping for a little more question engagement. Happy to bounce ideas if people want to get some feedback. Integrated carbon sequestration in post-mining landscapes, mineral carbonation, vegetation. Oh, awesome. Yeah, that'd be super cool. So I grew up in Alberta in Canada, and I did my master's on well site reclamation and abandonment and monitoring vegetation regrowth. So Alberta has this huge problem where we have all these oil and gas wells, and we need to monitor them and figure out which ones were not abandoned properly and are leaking. So we used a lot of hyperspectral data back in the day, but something like this would be super interesting for a time series. The carbon sequestration part, I'd love to learn more about that. Yeah, absolutely. That's super cool. Do you have a sense of what you'd like to look for using Sentinel data sets?
Hi. I'm an expert in mine rehabilitation. I'm also a botanist, and I just started learning EO at observation and how to use it, etc. So I don't know Zarr at all, and so I just need to figure out which satellites and how to use it, and also go into the science of carbon stocking. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I would look at if you're looking at vegetation, look at Sentinel-2 and like the near infrared bands, and the red band. There's a lot of vegetation indices you can use for Sentinel-2 to look for differences in health and use that as a proxy for something that's going on, underground for soil health. That might be contamination from a mine or something like that. Yeah, the thermal stuff would be interesting too. The spectral like the spatial resolution for Sentinel-3 is a little bit bigger, but it measures through some calculations temperature on the ground, and that would be interesting if there's I don't know, warmer water intrusion or something like that. Be very, very interesting to see. But yeah, I would look at Sentinel-2, and I think in the link previously we have some notebook examples you can take down yourself and then kind of play with and customize.
Okay, so that's like mostly for the vegetation. And can EO satellites also show me underground structures? Or
so radar can a little bit, like 30 centimeters if you're doing vegetation stuff. If you get some like really academic stuff, it can go a little deeper. If you're doing mineral, you can only get surface stuff, and you would have to get hyperspectral. You wouldn't be able to penetrate underneath the ground.
Okay. Yeah. Wishful thinking.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, Marcus says that will be using Sentinel-1 focused. Will be Sentinel-1 focus. Yeah, that's really nice. Also, try out Sentinel-1. It's really we already have some developed workflows into how to make the conversion.
Hi. Sorry, I didn't get the question. The conversion between what?
Oh, there's already some workflows that allow you to process the original data from Sentinel-1. So, yeah, get all the data available for any further process.
Yeah, we can go. There is Sentinel-1 on the EOPF sample service. That's definitely included in the competition. Please use the radar stuff. We have a notebook that goes from decibels to something like an image or something that you can process. So please use that if you want to poke through clouds and look at night. Definitely use that.
Thanks, I will have a look.
Cheers. Is anyone doing any urban looking and poking around? Anything urban, or is it mostly kind of rural environmental stuff? Or no ideas yet?
Has anyone faced any challenges so far working with the data, or yes, you haven't tried yet?
That's all right. If you don't have ideas or anything, I encourage you to go play around with them. There's lots of examples about what Zarr is. We have a comparison between the old Sentinel safe format and the new Zarr format. So you have to download the data versus streaming it. So we have a bunch of like examples of data access patterns that you can wrap your head around, and then once you do that, you can do all the applications. For example, agriculture using Sentinel-1 and Sentinel-2, doing some moisture detection or something like that. I think that's a great use case. But using Zarr is the important one, and the value I think you'll see is in the chunking size, because you can pass these small chunks of data off to deep learning and do really quick, really cheap distributed processing. So, for example, if you're looking at foundational models, you can have Clay foundational model run in a Docker container and send just chunks of Zarr data to 10,000 of these Docker containers, and it will process, a country for you. very cheaply. So I think that's the value that Zarr brings. What's on the other side of that, those applications, is up to you. But that's really why we're doing Zarr. It allows us to scale very efficiently and allows us to store things like CRS and grid size and alignment all in the same. So we get that analysis ready data. Years ago, I gave a talk on ARD, and I think we're getting really close here. So I'm excited for this. So if you haven't played with Zarr yet, I encourage you to go in, run through a couple of those notebooks. They're very approachable. They're small, but just get a sense of what Zarr can provide, and then bring in other stuff if you want. See what's out there.
Yeah, that's also, yeah, it's really interesting. And I also want to come back a little bit to this question about the problems of working with Zarr. Sometimes what could happen is that as the sample service, it's also reprocessing specific data sets or changing some stuff around. It could happen that during your development, there will be suddenly some errors, but they are usually like, don't worry if the error persists for a couple hours or even maybe just one day, because sometimes the catalog comes down and then it's available again. So yeah, don't worry, like it's not like a problem about falling data or stuff. It's just that as error conversion, it's happening in the background. Sometimes it will be a little bit tricky. But yeah, like if at some point you also find
Oh man.
specific.
Oh, there we go. Okay, good. You paused on "you will find," and it was the best cliffhanger.
Yeah. But yeah, like also like as an answer to that question, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so any more questions, people? More ideas? We saw also some new people were joining. Let me see the chat. Okay, someone registered a few days back. Have not decided, but okay. Working with agriculture using Sentinel 1, Sentinel 2. Yeah, also, please feel free to integrate also several products from the available Sentinel on the STAC catalog. That will be also really cool, because it will also showcase the flexibility for data integration.
I'm on mute. Tiaku, are you looking at time series in like crop changes or more spatial aggregation?
Yeah, I am planning to do something with the time series.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
Sorry,
Awesome.
my son is with me, so I just.
Oh, that's fine. My kids are just waking up. It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of use cases come out of here. That'd be awesome.
Yes. Yeah, I'm planning to do something with the time series. So I think what I understand, so maybe I should use something in the Europe, so where I have the 1 year of data, right?
Yeah, you can get the 1 year of data, but if there's an area that you have, for example, ground truth or like more data for, you can definitely go through the issue request and request more data for your area. So if you want to validate like what's happening on the ground, there's definitely truths there. So don't limit yourself to just Europe. The world is your oyster. You just raise an issue on the sample service repo, and they can process that data for you.
Yeah, okay, sure. Thank you.
We have shared some links in the chat as well. And I also sent again the EOPF EOPF sample data request. So open your issues there.
Thank you. And I just noticed, I think the links in the chat will disappear, right? We won't get the links which are in the chat at this, after the meeting. There was one notification at the top. It says the links in the chat. The chat messages won't be available later if you want. So I should save the links, whatever I need. Or is it like you will send those all the useful links by mail or something?
Yeah, like you will get access to all the links to all the materials afterwards, and also most of these links are also available in the repo, so don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
You will get access to the materials.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I should mention this. This repo it's open. I don't know if you mentioned that's all on GitHub. If you search EOPF-101, it's all on GitHub, and the links will all be on there.
Thank you for attending. I have also already sent the EOPF main repo. There you can follow up any developments we're doing. I'm also happy to share that we have just made a release today where we're also integrating more information about how to use not only Python but Zarr, and some heads up of the current workflows for adopting Zarr formatting QGIS. So I think it's also really interesting to have a look on them. Is someone having other questions? More ideas? General doubts? I don't see more questions in the chat. So,
Yeah, I'm happy to stick around if anyone has any questions. We have another 15 minutes. Yeah, if you have any questions, pop them in the chat, raise your hand, shout out loud. Can we go through a notebook?
yeah, would you like to do that, James? Or
yeah, give me a minute. I don't have one loaded here, but I can load one up.
okay, thank you. Let me just go back also for you to have a quick recap into how to access data. Sorry, access the platform for the development. While we wait for James to. Here is also the repo for the community competition. Competition here, and here you have the instructions. You have everything for the how to choose your Docker image, either if you want to use Python or R, and also all the instructions, and also the eligibility for the chosen notebooks, also for you to consider that. Thank you. Also here it's the EOPF sample data repo. And here we have EOPF 101, all the access to the chapters. For example, here you can access the already available workflows on the site. And I was showing, for example, also the flood mapping time series in Valencia. Here you can find some context. I think this could be also nice consideration for your development, and also all the steps into how to process the data. Also a follow-up for the prior example that someone was interested into using Sentinel data. Here in this development, you can see how there's reference to the prior developed notebooks for Discover EOPF's Zarr
Apologies, it's taking a little bit to load up.
No worries. Yeah. Yeah, so feel free also to take as inspiration any of these developments here. Also, even if the development it's a step-by-step guide into something you're really interested, even as if it's short, but if it's well documented, it's pretty valuable. Believe us, it's for us really nice to see what we can do with this format.
Sorry, my computer is messing. No, my computer is giving me some weird errors right now. Let me see if I can load it up on cloud.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, so just have a look as well into these ones. For example, we have also a long workflow that consists of 3 parts so far. Yeah, which basically has a section of context into what are we introducing into this workflow. Wait. Like to highlight when you're developing your workflow, think of what your end users are going to learn from these from your development, and what do you think are the takeaways from it. And yeah, you will have also, when you're developing code, when you're developing something, you usually have the importing libraries. If you're using if you're making use of helper functions, then well, you can make a list of them so it looks clean, it looks understandable, and gives all the context into whatever you need to a further step. And well, and we can also see it here. You can see set by starting the environment. For example, in this case, we have pre-fire visualization and post-fire visualization. So yeah, it's also really nice for you to consider the workflow you're developing and also the step-by-step guide. For example, here we're comparing pre and post-fire. So yeah, you can see here also clearly that this structure follows the template that we provided through the repo as a starting point. Okay, James, it's yours. I'll stop sharing.
All right. Okay, so I'm going through. I was going to load it locally, but my computer decided not to do that for me. So I am loading it through. I'm following the instructions on the community notebook competition, and I'm going through the Jupyter EOPF Sample Service Jupyter Lab instance. So when I switch over to here, I can select default image, specify an existing Docker image, or build my own. I want to specify an existing one. And the one I want to use is right down here at the bottom. So this container. So this is the kernel for the question that was asked earlier. And I will paste that right into there. And I'll start, and this will go through and break for me. What did I do wrong? EOPF. Okay, this doesn't work. Something. Let's try the R one. Okay. Okay. Well, this is not fun for a live demo.
Well, sometimes it happens to us as well.
It does. We'll have to go ask these guys what's going on here. Apologies for that, but this is the process that we would use to start your service. Specify an existing notebook, add the Python one, and this will come with what we've loaded in there after we fix why our service is not running here. Well, that's all I got for you then, apparently. I can't run locally and I can't run the cloud. I'm hobbled. This would be the process. We'll go through and make sure that this process is actually working before we release this and let you folks know. Apologies for that.
Yeah, let me see. I'm also trying to let me share. Yeah, because we sometimes get these how did you say these problems. So let me try as well. Where are we here? Jupyter Hub. Okay. Let me just see. Okay, so apparently it's something with the yeah, it could be something from directly from the Jupyter Hub.
I'm gonna bug Kiri and see if we can get this sorted right now for everyone.
To run our creator development there. We will be also having a video into explaining how to do this step by step. So stay tuned for it. And yeah, once you once you go in, well, yeah, you clone the repo, you develop the notebook, and then you submit through to this form that it's also this link also takes you here. And all and also the all declarations that are needed for the public use of the notebook. But yeah, so is someone having another question? Sorry for the inconvenience. We need to sort out this with with our tech team. Let me see in the chat. No one has more questions. Come on, guys. You have the last 3 minutes for questions. Questions? It was really nice to meet you. Also to the how to register for the competition. Okay. If you go to yeah, to this website, and once you're here, yeah, you will be able to register through this form. Here you will, let's see if we can do it. Yeah, you will need your email address, your name, also the programming language you're interested into, because then this will also allow us to track which other Docker images we will be developing for you. Also, yeah, some general questions about the development. And once you submit, you can choose which time slots from the presented ones on the office hours and the and the
Yeah, I think everything will be up
a
to.
reminder.
Oh, there, I just okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I lost a bit of connection. Yeah,
That's
but there you will be. How do you say?
I think yeah, everything can be found at the URL here, and you go through the forms, and you should be able to submit there. The training materials, as I mentioned, you can find them all in the Toolkit competition. We have GitHub repos for all of this stuff. We described that earlier in the call for the office hours, but unfortunately we are out of time now. Thank you all for coming to the office hours, and good luck on the competition. We'll see you all later.
But
That's all right. That's all right. All right. Thanks for coming all.
thank you. Wait.
أنا بحاول أمشي والله.